like the spots that have wear and tear from 15 years of me doing the job that I do. So the last 2 days when I've got back into exercising again, on top of still working, I haven't been as sore, and I needed like that little bit to help me reflect on the fact that I need to keep the balance in all the areas. And my work listened to me and made my schedule to where it was appropriate for me to get in here to do what I need to do and to get to see my children as well. So life has been giving me lots of options, pulling me away from here. And I have been like sitting for the last month and a half with like a death grip on this place. Like, this is mine and I'm staying here. This is what's working. This is what I need. So I've been doing everything I can with letting all of the outside sources know and understand, like, this is coming first, or I'm not going to be able to be there for any of the rest of you.
Well, I think, I say it this way, I thank God that you have that knowledge, because that's what's going to save your ass every time. That was beautiful. Go ahead.
Tony.
Yeah, on a personal note, I mean, for me, the determination and self-discipline equals accomplishment. And I don't think that those are two things that you can be forced to do. They're not two things you can be really taught to do. They're things that if you keep your focus on the end result, the accomplishment, I think that the determination and the self-discipline will become behaviors. And it'll become automatic behaviors. And when you reach that state, and they become states of mind, when you reach those states of mind, there's really very little that can get in your way. It's always been my experience that keeping your eye on the ball is what keeps the motivation flowing. Because if you let something else take away your mojo from what you want to do, you will lose your way. And that's what happened with me. And I let something insidious get into my life, and it took my eye off the ball, man. And boy, did it fuck me up. And it stole from me. It took things from me that I didn't give it permission to do. I didn't even know it was capable of doing that. And I want to just extol to all the young people here, man, that your lives are extremely important, and please don't take them for granted, because before you know it, you'll be in a situation where you're playing catch-up. If you want to play catch-up with your life, man, you're going to expend so much energy that you could have used in getting accomplishments done that you're going to look back on it and you're going to have regrets. And a life with regrets is not, it's not worth the expenditure, man. So I'm just going to leave it there. That's it. That's all I have. I just hope that you guys take some of what I said to heart, man, because I'm telling you, I've been there. I've walked the walk. I've talked the talk. And I want you all to treat your lives as the gift that it is. It is a gift. And it was given freely to you, and freely live it so that you can freely give back.
Right on. We're ready to go home after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark.
Thanks, Tony. I use the word determined, and I use that word in a way that has affected my life over the last year, because when I came in here, I wasn't determined to be where I'm at right now, because I didn't really realize that I could be in a place where I'm at now then. I never thought I'd be in a place where I'm at right now. And I was determined to get to a place, and I didn't know what that place was until now. But in that determination that I've worked at throughout a year's time, it wasn't that I sat there and said to myself a year ago that in 1 year I'm going to be here and I'm determined to be there. I took it in small steps, and Scott and I kind of had a small conversation about that before the meeting, not to make big goals, but to make a lot of smaller goals and to accomplish those goals and move on with them and feel that accomplishment, because that's what carries you to that next goal. Instead of having that one big goal and waiting and waiting and waiting and working to get to it, it's gonna so many things that can sidetrack you from that big goal instead of setting that little goal. So my determination was to get this done, get that done, and get this done, and just keep on moving. And I'm determined to continue on what I'm doing. And if I don't have that in my mind, I'm going to get stale. And once I get stale in my recovery, there's only bad things that can happen. So I'm determined to keep something out there and to maintain it and just to keep working, because this is a lifelong deal for me. I gotta be determined to take on tomorrow, be determined to take on next week, next month, and the rest of my life. So
Nice, you're up.
Josh.
So, I wasn't going to talk about the determination and discipline, because I was sitting here thinking that I'm really not all that determined, and I'm definitely not disciplined. You know, in my general life, it sort of is what it is, and I roll with it. And I don't think that matters, because I'm living up to my potential today. I've never lived up to my potential before a day in my life. Never. And today I'm actually living up to what I can do. So it doesn't matter that my house is a mess, and it doesn't matter that I procrastinate all the time, because I'm living up to my ability. And that's what's important to me. And on the first part of it, when I realized addiction wasn't a disease, realized or unlearned, it doesn't matter, but that was life-changing. Life-changing. Because I sort of always knew it, but it was a scapegoat. You know what I mean? Oh, I got a disease, I can get high. Oh, I got a disease, this is just how I'm going to be, so I might as well keep doing this. But when I finally took responsibility for my actions, it sucked so much. Coming to the realization that I dug this hole and I filled it with water and I started pouring concrete in it was really hard. But after that, it became manageable, I guess is a good way to put it, because I'm in control now. Before, something else was controlling me, something else was pulling the strings, something else was making me do all these shitty things that I was doing. But when I came to the realization that, no, you're doing this to you and your family, you're destroying your kids' lives, it's not the drugs, then I could put responsibility where it belonged, which was with me, and I could learn how to live with it.
Watch that podcast, guys. That was good. That was good. Yeah.
Bianca.
I'm determined because I know I don't want to fall back to a victim of drugging or alcoholing, so I don't want to overdose and die that way. I'm determined to live my life to my best ability and become something in life. I'm disciplined because I wake up every day. I'm kind of nervous, so excuse me, but I wake up every day knowing that I have to come to group and knowing, well, I don't have to, I get to, so I'm rearranging. And it's a privilege for me, because it's just I don't know, I'm nervous. I'm trying to get it out.
Good.
So, I feel like I have to believe in something or I won't believe in anything. So the only thing that keeps me going every day is God. I don't have any goals real set, but I know that I get up and get to go to group, and I know that I'm going to stay sober. So that's all that's keeping me focused and going and functioning at this moment. Just knowing, waking up every day, I get to get another chance of life. I get to stay sober, and I get to be around wonderful people and have a connection and build bonds.
Thank you for sharing.
Good comment.
You're doing good. You're doing great. All right.
Jay.
Man, you guys have all said great stuff. It keeps changing what I want to say. Mark, you were talking about going slow or baby steps, and it's okay to go slow. Just don't stop. You know, just keep going and going and going. And I mentioned discipline. Some of you guys know that I left home at a young age to pursue a hockey career alone in another country, and if I didn't have my own discipline, I wouldn't have made it. I had to get my ass out of bed to go to school, to go to practice, to do all that, to study. I mean, we had we had tutors and things, and a lot of things to make it happen, but you still had to do it yourself. A lot of guys had all those opportunities and blew it, but it still took a lot of discipline, and then pursuing a triathlon career was the same thing. I just think discipline is really important. And the 4 things you mentioned about genetics and trauma and environment and choice, I really did not have any trauma growing up. I think the trauma started when I left home at 15 to go play hockey in Canada, and there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of different things. Playing with 18, 19-year-old guys, I saw a lot of stuff that probably 15-year-old shouldn't see. So that was a little different. And I can remember my solace was practice and games. I just loved being on the ice. That was like the best part of it. But I think for me, you know, I'm 60. I started late with my drinking. I was 57-ish, and it was all depression, mental health. I was taking medication, and I stopped because I started feeling better, and I drank to medicate, and obviously that didn't work. But there is genetics in play in my family, both of my grandfathers, and I am a splitting image of my mom's father, and he was an alcoholic. Functioning, I think back then it was a little different, but he was a very successful guy, but I don't know how he did it, and I hear the stories that I hear. I mean, we look alike, same, just everything very similar. And for me, number 4, it was choice. It was my choice to drink. Absolutely my choice. It's my choice not to. It's my choice to be here. It's my choice to do a lot of things. And I was at a program before this, and it was 12-steppy, and I fought it in my mind because I knew I was the one who made the decision to drink. It wasn't all these other things. But it does, for me, it still comes down to discipline, and it's really that, you know, waking up in the morning. I grew up in a military family, so the first thing we had to do was make our bed. And I can tell you that if you do that, when you get home at night and your bed is made, it's the best feeling in the world. I actually fold it down a little bit, and it really is the best thing. I've done it my whole life, and it feels like you've accomplished at least one thing in your day.
That's good. Who in here has done drugs or drank excessively? All of us, right? So here's a little fun fact for you. If you've done that, you are determined and you are disciplined. Right? So when you think of the work, the determination and the discipline it takes to jack ourselves up the way we did. If you switch that into self-betterment, look out, because it's going to bring you a lot more benefits. But everybody in here has determination and discipline. You just need to change it into doing some good stuff. Go ahead.
It's crazy that you said that, because I was going to go based off that. But I just want to say I see determination in everybody in here for even coming in here and taking a seat. You know what I'm saying? But I wrote this down just so I didn't forget. But yeah, like talk about being determined. Come hell or high water, I was going to get some drugs. You know what I'm saying? If I had to hurdle the Great Wall of China with cinder blocks on my feet, if you told me it would give me some drugs, I probably could do it. You know what I'm saying? But besides that, I would put, if I had to, I'd put $1 in the tank just to get there. You know what I'm saying? If I ran out of gas on the way, fuck it, I'll walk the rest of the way. That's how determined I was. So I know if I take that and I turn that stuff in something positive, I know that the growth will be exponential, and I just know that I gotta stay disciplined long enough for that to take place. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Right on. Go ahead.
Adam.
For me, with the whole balance thing, it's actually like taking me a second to like sit back and compartmentalize every. For me, it's taking taking time to sit back and compartmentalize what I got going on and where I can fit it in on my plate. Like last week, I was struggling to put this up on Facebook. Like, I need a bigger damn plate. No, what I don't need is I don't need a bigger damn plate. Get the same fucking plate I got now. Just take smaller portions of everything I got going on and handle it one fucking piece at a time with the shit, and it's working. Cause like I'm actually doing more shit more often. Like just probably gonna get shy of a heart attack, but like I started making my bed, bro. Like fucking, I got to ask him and Red. I don't do that. Cause like the sloth like wolf starves. And my ass is fucking filling my den up with everything I fucking can. Fucking, I heard something today that really fucking resonated in me. And it was the quality of my happiness depends on the quality of my thoughts. Like, that fucking hit me real fucking hard. It got me thinking about a lot of shit. Like, because I got all these other things revolving around my life. Because like, racing's not the center focal point, work's not, my son's not, none of that is. Like I am the center focal point. And I got all these other things going around to build that the fuck up. And like I'm able to like use my time in a more mature way because like people bitch about, oh, like, there's not enough time for this, or like, oh, I got time for that, or like there's so little time, but yet we fucking misuse time all the time. Like we waste so many days doing jack shit. I wasted so many days putting needles in my arms. Like, the fuck was I doing with my time? Nothing. So what I'm doing, like, I'm doing now is actually like taking the time to manage things out properly, and I'm actually seeking like guidance from my case manager and JJ about this stuff, like, and it's because like their input like matters a fucking lot, and it actually works when I actually apply it. Like the advice you gave me when I first got here, you made a suggestion, I did it, and what did it do? It fucking worked, right? So if I keep doing shit like that, I know two things. Nothing can whoop me, and ain't nothing stopping me. So, like,
How those Beyond Burgers working for you?
I don't eat those. I be smashing on onion rings.
Keep coming back.
Cody.
Determination and discipline. I was thinking about determination as how bad I want something, and then discipline would be my willingness to do something. With recovery, I heard this story about how this guy walks up to the successful businessman and he's like, I want to be successful like you. What do I have to do? He said, you know what? I tell you what, dress up in a suit and show up at the beach tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the morning. He said, okay, I'll do that. Guy goes to the beach and then he starts heading in the water. He's like, you want me to head in the water with the suit? He said, yeah, I want you to head in the water with the suit. He grabs the guy, he holds him underwater to tell you about the drowning, he brings him back up and he says, in order for you to be successful, you have to want success as much as you want to breathe, and that's the same with recovery.
Okay.
That
Yeah, man, keep going. That was good. How many days you been here, Cody?
I think about 3 or 4.
You're cured? Come on up. That was good.
James.
I'm determined to shine, man. Like, when I first lost everything I had, first started doing drugs, and like lost my house, lost my cars, lost all my material things, lost my relationship with my kids. Like, I was gonna beat me. And since then I've been trying to figure out a way to pick up the pieces. But I was always like in the back, and quiet. Me growing up, that's not who I am. Last time I went out, man, I was like sad. I was determined to either get it all out of my system or die, one of the two. And I'm grateful I'm not dead. you know, and, you know, it made me realize a lot of things, like, it sounded cheesy and corny as hell, but it awakes something inside of me where I'm not, you know, that's who I am. I'm built to shine, I'm built to, you know what I mean, to get somewhere, you know, and by doing this program, lifestyle number 5 with self-esteem and confidence, it's just skyrocketing. You know what I mean? And I don't even let, you know, lifestyle number 6, isolation, I don't let this shit cripple me. I take chances with people and I build these relationships with people. And the discipline part of it, like some people, I hear a lot of people saying, discipline is what keeps yourself from not doing something. But it's also discipline to do something. They keep yourself getting up and doing it. You know, and that's what I do. Like, I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to claim to be perfect. And there's times that emotions in life hit me, and I'm like, I get discouraged, just like everybody else. And I won't go across with something. It's a lot of it's trial and error. So when I don't work out, and I don't eat healthy, or I eat healthy, you know, I'm really seeing how eating healthy really has an impact on me. Like, it really does. Like, I thought, it's really good. Like, my discipline for me is allowing somebody else to follow somebody else. You know, to follow, to see people doing things that are improving their lives, and not me thinking I know better for myself. Because obviously I don't. Every time I try to do it for myself and think I got this, I fuck up. You know, and I'm back to square one. I'm tired of getting back to square one. You know, I'm determined to make it. Like, I'm determined not to die. You know what I mean? And I'm willing to do whatever discipline I have to either do or not do to get there. You know, and I'm hard-headed as hell, I'm stubborn, I'll bump my head every damn time before I get it. And once I get it, I got that drive. You know, like my dad and my son told me, you're the strongest dude I've ever met in my life. You have a strong will, but I don't understand how this shit's got its claws sunk in you the way it does. Like, and then my dad was like, just like you're on your knees, bro. He's like, that's not my son, that's not my race. Get up. You know, he's told me that for a while. He's like, I couldn't gave up. Like, something inside me just, I felt defeated because I worked so hard to get everything I got, and I lost it all, and it was me doing it. And I'm determined. Like, I had a whole lot of listen. No. That's right there. Arrogant. It's not arrogance. Arrogance is where I'm trying to shine for a certain person or certain people. The reason why my confidence and gratitude is so high, or confidence and self-esteem is so high, is because it's gratitude behind it. I'm grateful to be where I'm at and to feel the way that I feel. And that's what you're arrogance with. So that's all I got there.
That was good. Are you going to take any more cheat days? I like grapes. My man. I like grapes. That's cool. Beautiful. Go ahead.
Daniel.
Yeah, I know, when I came here, I was looking for a solution to my problem, and I found it. But in order for me to experience this, I had to have some sort of determination, which I did. I didn't want to live like I was before. I didn't want to go through all that again. So doing that, I learned to be disciplined in everything that I do, whether it be, and everybody knows I'm big on the Pepsi thing, all right? Not the one you drink, but the acronym, you know. I focus on that every day, and I do, and I can back that up. Now, when James was talking about gratitude, you know, one of them is ask for spirituality, okay? Gratitude, empathy, and humility are all spiritual work, period, no matter what, because they come from within. You pull it from within, and you exude it, or you give it out to somebody in a physical manner. So it starts from in, all right? And I take that to heart. I really, really do. So being consistent and being doing the right thing and choosing the next right thing, I'm successful in this. Do I have all the answers? No, I don't have all the answers. I won't have all the answers. I just won't. But do I strive every day to get there? Absolutely. Now, being here has offered me the opportunity to pursue my passion, which is golf. Everybody knows that. I love golf. All right? And I pulled up a quote, and it's from one of the greatest golfers, in my opinion. His name is Bobby Jones, way back. And I'll quote, "Golf is the coolest game Closest game. Let me start with golf is the closest game to the game we call life. You get bad breaks from good shots. You get good breaks from bad shots. But you have to play where the ball lies, no matter what. So I look at that now, and when I'm out practicing or playing, and I apply that to my life. You know, I don't care where the ball is. I'm going to be determined to hit the next best shot. So guess what? That's what I do here. What's the next best thing? What can I do? What am I doing every day? You know, you can fill people's ears with worthless words. They don't mean a darn thing unless you back them up. Plain and simple. Talk a mean game, great. Where the rubber hits the road, what are you doing? Are you just spewing a bunch of worthless words? I don't have time for that. And I don't think a lot of other people do either. So I take things pretty serious, but I like to have a good time too.
Absolutely.
So I'm just glad to be here tonight.
And what is the best golf movie ever made?
Happy Gilmore.
Caddyshack. Happy Gilmore close, right?
Okay.
Bagger Man.
I would definitely say determination. It's part of my life. Just when, moment one of sobriety, it's, just to be positive, to stay positive in my life is something that, like, to be happy, that takes discipline and determination. You know, it's how you look at life. It's what you see. And what I am and what I see in myself is love, and love for myself. And no matter what comes against me, I mean, I've had so many times things coming against me, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because me, I know who I am. I know what my intent is. I know what I have done in my sobriety and in my life. And that my journey friends know as well. They know who I am and what I am, but I know me. And the power of positivity and overcoming, no matter what, and belief in myself is what I didn't have before. But I have that now. And some things that would come against me, they would just tear me down. I would just give up. And that's just not me anymore, to ever give up. Not for anyone else's acceptance, not for anything else. What I put my work into is for me. And that is it. That's what I do. And it spirals into everything else that I do. Just as Dan said, other people have said, I have a lot to learn. I do. But I know myself, and that's the most powerful gift that I could ever give myself, is to know, you know, and it's just incredible how strong I've gotten. You know, because it's sad that we live in a negative world in some respects. It's sad that people will try to come against you or take away what you have, but they can never take away you. Not unless you give them the power to do so. And in many different ways, I've been told that here. You know, and that's why this weekend, going again, I'm leaving him and I'm going after another dream. And I'm going to do it with the learning that I have under my belt. And I'm going to stay focused and drive for what I believe in, which is myself and my life and my sobriety, which is one and fucking same. And I'm so thankful for everything that you have given me and every person here that inspires me, because they're true to themselves. That's the most important thing you can ever do, is love yourself.
Woody.
determination is work required to become disciplined. When I become disciplined, and it's not as hard work. Discipline determination is the work prior to forming a habit, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Example, I became determined to sign correctional officers' paychecks for a lot of years. And after a while, I became disciplined that today I'm determined to not sign them paychecks anymore. And I'm determined to become disciplined at that. I am not going to use no matter what.
No,
That's how I feel today.
that's a good feeling, brother. That was good. Right on. Huh? Rhea?
Sean. Wait.
All right, so most of you guys know my story, but those who don't, I had to grow up really fast from the age of 3, and genetically I got passed down a lot of issues, as well as learning how to be an adult from a young age, to grow up super fast, to my environmental issues growing up, looking up to my sister and my brother, my mom and my stepdad, and other people in my life, came the alcohol and drugs. So I acquired a lot of trauma through that. When I turned 18, I made a choice to acquire my own trauma. So that added to everything that I had dealt with before 18. You know, I have countless times looked death in its eyes several times. But by the grace of God, I'm here today with you beautiful people, and I have another opportunity. I have another choice to not live that way anymore. And my choice is to break the cycle for my children. Yes, they've already seen enough, but I have a choice every day, and that's to be successful, be a respected individual of society, and I am very, very determined to achieve my goals within myself, spiritually, physically, mentally, and most of all, being a father for my children. My father impacted my life, you know, for too long, and I'm here to better myself, and I'm gonna keep saying it because it's what I need to do, but to better myself for my children, and then most of all, like instead of being looked at like a misfit or an outcast or anything, which I have always been looked at that way, I want to be able to reach my goals of helping others, like you guys and myself. You know, it's something I feel like God has. I think that's God's purpose for me. We're just going to continue that journey with that, and wherever He leads me is where I go. But every day is a choice for me. I brought up this morning that I had a kind of rough morning. You know, I didn't start with my routine this morning. I still, you know, reached out to everybody, told them I loved them, have a good day, this and that, but I was hurting inside still. That wasn't enough for me, so I let it out, and I just want everybody to know I feel amazing now, and I appreciate the support, the love and support, and you guys are wonderful, wonderful people. You really are. And without my God and you guys, the help of you guys, I don't know if I could do it at this point. But I am very determined to be able to be successful and be a father my children need me to be, man.
So I'm going to give you two scenarios. We talk a lot about here about the power of words, right? So I'll give you two examples. How many times I'll use weight loss? Somebody will say, I want to lose weight and get in shape. Great statement. Next guy says, I came into Racing for Recovery. I wanted to lose weight, get in shape, and love myself. So I gave up eating junk food. I got up 3 times a week. I did cardio for 30 minutes. I lifted weights for another 30 minutes. I saw an individual counseling once a week. I came in with questions about how to heal from trauma. I listened to what was offered. I applied what she said, came back the next week with more advances. Which one of those makes more sense? The second one. That's how I want you guys to talk. Talk with discipline and determination. Put some examples of how you did it behind your stuff. Right? We can want everything to death. Put some things you're doing behind it, and what are the results and what are the feelings behind it. Right? If you look at anything. If we'll use a movie. If one of your friends says to you, man, I saw a movie last night, it was awesome. What are you going to say? What movie? Where's it playing? What time's it playing? How'd you get there? Right? Put some descriptive examples of what you did and what the results were. Right? Think of that. Somebody said to you, God, I had a great meal last night. What? Where? Who made it? How long did it take to make it? How did it taste? How do you feel after it? Right? Put some meat behind some of that stuff. When Heather was talking, I'm thinking she wants to love herself. She loves herself today. How did that take place? Well, we all know how it took place. That's what this is. Right? Huh?
I hope I explained it.
You did. Your actions speak it. Your words don't have to say anything. Good stuff. Keep going. Where are we?
Brian.
Alright, keeps coming to mind that determination, like, I'm determined to stay motivated and keep staying motivated until my sobriety train pulls into the station that makes me inspirational. So that's kind of how I've been feeling. So, like, switch up to what you said is like I'm staying determined by just constantly trying to better myself every way I can. Like with the smoking thing, I brought it up a few times. You know, I'm quitting doing that. Determined the way I speak and the way I talk, not to try to swear, and motivating myself every morning by getting up at early hours, 6:30, being here, doing the healthy breakfast, going to the gym every day, doing the athletics, run groups, do softball, staying connected with people, good people, determined to switch my foundation around, new friends, you know what I mean? It's awkward as hell, man, but to stay focused with that, it's hard, it's real hard, but the determination to want to be the inspiration down the road keeps motivating me to do these things, man, and it really does make it easier and harder at the same time. It's going to be harder the farther I get, but it's easier to know that there's a goal, you know what I mean? And once I keep focused on that goal, that, man, it's just what needs to be done, and I deserve the best version of myself, and it's not, I will earn it, you know what I mean? I'll get it. I know I deserve it, so I'm gonna get it.
You are an inspiration. I watch, I listen to people. You're an inspiration.
I want to go back to a comment you made about not signing anybody's paychecks in the principal institution anymore. That was profound.
That's right.
Final comment? Who's up?
That was it.
We're good? How about this? Before we go, I thought of this based on what you guys were saying tonight. What's the most important thing we lost in addiction? Ourselves. What's the best thing you're going to gain in sobriety? Yourself. Right? Yourself. You want to love yourself? Don't do drugs. That's the catalyst to get you where you want to go. We lose ourselves, we gain ourselves. Right on. Who's got our closing call? The answer. Or the 5 cert chapter.
One. I walk down the street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am hopeless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I am in the same place. But it isn't my fault. It takes a long time to get out. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it is there. I still fall in. It's a habit. My eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault. I get out immediately. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. And I walk down another street.
Thanks for coming, everybody.